someone just asked, very plainly, what's our thoughts on current gaming? We gave our thoughts on retro gaming and collecting last week, and there's someone wants to know our thoughts on the state of
modern
market
gaming
is now.
The caveat being that Ian actually plays a lot more modern games than I do. I sort of just follow the trends and what's coming out and look at the news. That's the difference.
Well, I'm actually not a whole lot different. I mean, so I am, at this point, if you want to talk about modern games, I am a portable gamer at heart through and through. Okay. My consoles are used to play indie games that have the good fortune to be ported to them, or I use them as boxes for Netflix. The amount of quote-unquote AAA games that I play each year, depending on your definition of AAA game,
AAA, big releases,
is none to one or two. Most of what I play is handhelds. I will always love handhelds. I don't drive. I do a lot of travel by train, bus. I travel by plane at least twice a year. Stagecoach. I travel by, I fly at least twice a year to go home, see friends, so I love my portables.
That's not what you said. I travel by train.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. So my current opinion on modern gaming is that it's boring as shit. I pay attention to it because I have to, because I sell new stuff as well as old stuff.
Okay.
Couldn't care about Grand Theft Auto 5. Borderlands 2 was a huge disappointment for me, and that shows you how much I play modern games, because I'm immediately referencing a game that's over a year old at this point. The Assassin's Creed series does nothing for me. I am playing Diablo 3 on the console now, and I'm loving it. But I'm loving it for all the reasons I hate most modern games. It's not flashy. It's not focused on story. As a matter of fact, there's no subtitles, and you can walk away from a character when they're telling you something pivotal in the storyline, because Diablo 3 realizes that the story is bullshit. All you're there to do is slaughter hordes of enemies.
In that game, yes.
Yes. So that's why I enjoy a game like that. But I don't think it's all sad and sour. I think modern gaming is looking to get better. I think this renewed interest in, I'm not going to say just indies, but in small developers, in creator projects like Swery 65's Deadly Premonition, and games like that, indie games like Spelunky that are making it to console. Mm-hmm. The fact that people are playing these things and enjoying them, with Sony coming out and saying they want to support indies, and I think we're getting.
And also, Nintendo is
Nintendo wants to support indies. We're getting to the point where after
Microsoft did a great job with the 360, and now who knows?
Yeah, they dropped that ball halfway through. But we're getting to the point now, all I'm trying to say is, where I might buy a PlayStation 4 and I might find the games that I want to play on it, and they're not going to be the big games on the disc. They're going to be the $10 games that are on the download store.
So basically, this is how I look at gaming. I look at it the same way I look at Hollywood. It's analogous. You have the big companies that want to come out with their blockbusters because they know there are the big money makers. That's where they know that I'm going to put out the sequel. I'm going to put out my franchise title. It may not be that much unique or original, but I know I have the built-in audience that's going to see it because it has lots of explosions, lots of action. They're going to come and buy it. We know, based on research, how many people are going to come and buy it. So we're going to play it safe. We're going to do that. And it's just like the movies. So you're going to have less and less of the big EAs and Ubisofts. They're going to do less and less of the ones that take creative risks, because it's a business.
Right.
It's a side effect. It's a corollary that the games are entertaining. They're only entertaining because they make money.
Right.
So they don't have to take risks because it's a business. They're not in it to come out with this title that, we never saw this before. Again, it may happen, but that's not the goal. They're not going to take those big risks. So, but now it's brilliant because, again, you have all these little titles coming out. This is the golden era of indie gaming.
Yeah.
And you have crowdsourcing, which is now having all these awesome projects. Mighty Number 9's coming out now.
We saw a new Shadowrun game that's actually an RPG.
They're making a new River City Ransom, an actual River City Ransom sequel. Mighty Number 9. Hell, Capcom dropped the ball. A huge corporation. They said, screw you guys. We don't see money in a Mega Man, which is idiotic. So the creator's making a Mega Man type of game. and it's going to come out. So it's like, we don't need the big companies anymore. We really don't.
Right. So I mean, and that's the thing. Like, if this question had come up a year ago, I would have been a lot more gloom and doom about it. I would have been like, "There's nothing I give two shits about." But now, I'm feeling pretty rosy on it, especially like with how like I like the fact that Sony does a lot of the cross-play features for these types of small games that I'm into, because I can buy it for my PS3 and I can take it on the go with the Vita. I love the Nintendo eShop download. By the way, did you know they put Rekka on the US eShop as a download?
Really?
Yes. So go buy that.
How much?
It's like $6 for a fantastic shooter.
That'd be cool to play on the Wii U pad.
It's for the 3DS. I don't think you can't get it for the...
Damn it, really?
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
So, I mean, in your...
I mean, if people don't know, Rekka was the exclusive Famicom
it was the carnival shooter that so it was the competition
Which
shooter.
It looks like a 16-bit title, basically. It's amazing.
It's gorgeous. We play it. We played it the past 2 years. We'll play it this year.
On the Power Pad, we play it.
Yeah. So these digital distribution methods, I don't like them for big AAA titles. If I'm gonna pay big money for a game, I want to own it. But for these little bite-sized candy titles that honestly appease me longer than most big titles, I have no problem dropping $10 on something that might go away at some point.
Yeah, it's less of a risk because now you have like, the AAA titles are $50, $60. It's a lot more money to plunk down than a $10 game, and the $10 game might be just as fun for you.
Spelunky. If you haven't played it, if anyone listening hasn't played it...
Which is a Spelunker type of game.
It's a Spelunker type game mixed with a roguelike, meaning all the layouts are randomized every time you go in. And there's so much randomness and so much neat hidden stuff to find. That game, I own it for the PlayStation 3 and the 360. It's probably my favorite game that's come out in 2 to 3 years, and it was, I think, $10 on the 360 and $15 on the PS3. And you'll get your money's worth. I'm not saying everyone will, but that's what I like about where games are going. These little games...
You have options now.
Yeah.
You can potentially buy a next-gen console and never buy a next-gen game. You can just buy downloadable titles and be fine.
I hated the fact that Microsoft wanted to put all these horrible DRM things on their system. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, I may not ever buy a disc-based game with a PS4 because that's not where my tastes lie right now.
Sure. Which makes sense. I mean, honestly, the last new game I bought was LA Noire. I'm probably going to get GTA 5 because it does look amazing. We can have a whole conversation about how reprehensible the main characters are. There was actually a review on, I think, Destructoid or Kotaku, one or the other, where the guy gave it a 7 out of 10 because of that, and he got lambasted for it. Well, that's all the conversation.
Even people who gave it 9 out of 10. What was that lady's name? Colleen Petit, if I'm getting it wrong, I apologize. She gave the goddamn game a 9 out of 10 and had some less than savory things to say about how the fact that this time around there was no real moral wrangling. They were just all outright scumbags. And the amount of bullshit and vitriol directed at her was fucking disgusting. It made me not want to play games.
Because gamers are self-righteous.
Yeah.
And they can't separate out an opinion from... To them, if you have a different opinion, that means, they think my opinion's wrong, they think I'm horrible, which is so immature.
It's just ridiculous. Like, a lot of times they will overlook flaws in a review because the number is right to them.
Sure.
But then sometimes the number doesn't matter, and they will hone in on 2 lines of a review, and they will send that person 20,000 death threats, and it's ridiculous.
Well, that could be a whole other topic about whether a game's rating or... At this point, the games are basically movies. Does that affect you the way it would watching a movie like basically like Godfather 2? I like Godfather 2 a lot less than Godfather 1 because in Godfather 2, there's no characters I can get behind. Because Michael Corleone in Godfather 2 is a total scumbag. And it's about his descent. That's what it's about. It's a tragedy. So I don't like it as much as the first one where you have nice characters.
And I actually compared, I can't remember where it was, but I actually compared something like Grand Theft Auto 5 to mobster movies. I respect the artistry that goes into something like Godfather 2.
Technically, they're brilliant.
And I respect the artistry that goes into something like Grand Theft Auto 5. But I dislike games like that for the same reason I dislike mobster movies. Because even though I may get some amazing performances, I'm left hollow and empty feeling inside when I'm done. It just glorifies
violence in the lifestyle.
Whereas there are other violent games, and I always bring it up, but like Killer 7, for instance, that game got my head going. It was creative. It was clever. I'm not anti-violence. And it doesn't even have to have a ham-fisted message. Sure. I just don't want to play as scumbags for 40 hours because even if it's technically brilliant, I don't feel like I got anything.
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna. I mean, it's not the most successful, game in terms of money ever.
Basically $1 billion in a day.
Which is that's unheard of. Again, that's why it's movies. The only difference is the GTA
$60 for admission.
The only difference is the GTA games actually are groundbreaking each time they come out. They do a lot more, and it's ridiculous how much they put in. Versus Call of Duty every year, which is just a minor upgrade, and you paying $60 for it.
I mean, to me, I don't have any Call of Duty. Not my thing. I played 4. Pretty extensively for about 3 months because my friends were. I had just gotten a 360. It was what was available. Online was fun enough, and I just realized it wasn't for me. I feel less about Call of Duty. I don't even feel like I have an opinion. To me, it's just another sports game. That's what Call of Duty is to me.
It's like the Maddens that come out, or FIFAs where they don't change anything anymore, basically.
Well, actually, if we're gonna get nitpicky, FIFA changes too much. FIFA. The thing is like when you look at Madden. Even though I don't like the Madden series, you can see some sort of progression. They change a lot, but the team seems like it tends to stay the same. FIFA seems like it has a rotating team, so you get really great years with FIFA, and you get really awful years with FIFA.
Yeah, because I hear, I haven't played an NHL game in a while, but I hear the NHL games don't even change this point because maybe they perfected it. The NHL games supposedly are like the best ones that no one talks about because hockey's not that popular, but like they know what. No, how
FIFA. It seems like they keep as much as they throw out every year with FIFA. So like I buy one every 3 years. Basically, I wait for that golden year and then I buy a FIFA. That's basically my sports game. That's it. But yeah, Call of Duty is just another sports game to me. I don't feel like there's any artistry to discuss. It's just another installment to something that people are already going to buy every year. Grand Theft Auto 5 being something that people look up to. Technically, it's great. I wish it would aspire to something more than just technical greatness.
Yeah, it defined the open world game in the modern era. GTA 3 was so
great. That was a decade ago.
You're saying do something besides that. What else can they do though? You're saying have a good character in there. I got an idea. They could have it be more. I like open world games that I guess that could really be open world. They follow. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do the storyline missions, but that's really why you can get the games.
I got into it with a guy the other day on a forum I go to because the forum I go to, none of us play that kind of crap, and this guy's kind of weird. But he was like, "Oh, I got the GTA 5. What feature are you all excited about?" And everyone was like, why the fuck are you bringing that shit here? No, go someplace else and talk about GTA 5. Like, no one wants to talk about GTA 5 here. Wow. And he was like, but they added so much. So then he made like another topic where he talked about, I just went scuba diving, and I hiked around some mountains, and then I did this and that, and I did the next thing.
I did yoga.
And I did this, and I did all this stuff. I played some golf, and not a single shot was fired, and it was great. And my response was, yeah, but you gotta fire shots to progress the storyline and finish the game. Like, I don't care everything that the game adds on the side.
It doesn't impress you.
It doesn't excuse.
It doesn't impress you that you can basically live your life in the game like The Sims and not actually breaking laws. You
can't. There's still progress to be made, and to make that progress, to gain more money, to be able to do more things, to open up more shit, you still gotta fire that gun.